It has been a long time. It's been a month since I've last posted a video, and I'm here to tell you why, and I'm also going to go ahead and update you on how we have been doing, what we've taken out, what we've added. So stay tuned. So I am Stephanie with Yes We Homeschool. I am a homeschool mom to 3 kids ages almost 4, 8, and 13. So early preschool, barely starting upper elementary, and soon to be high school. I am going to break this video up into 4 parts. The first part is going to explain to you why I have been missing in action on this platform for a month. And then I'm going to go into updates for preschool, the upper elementary, and middle school. I'm going to timestamp when I start those at the bottom. So if you want to hear all of it, that's great. If you want to just skip forward to some parts, then you'll know below where to do that. Before I start, also, don't forget that if you like videos like this, where I'm talking to you about everything and anything homeschool, including a touch of my personal life, which I'm about to do, hit that subscribe button, like, share, and hit the notification bell so that you know when I make a video next. So, the last month has been a little bit stressful. We are in the process of building a new construction home, and we were told that it was going to be completed by a certain date, and we came to find out probably 3 weeks before this supposed completion date that wasn't going to happen. We had not extended our lease, and so we were left scrambling for a place. So the last month I was left scrambling for a place to find, kind of dealing with that emotionally, physically, the stress that came with that, and all the while homeschooling during a period of the homeschooling year that I'm sure many of you will agree with. It's that 6 to 8 weeks. You've been homeschooling for 6 to 8 weeks. You're feeling tired. You're kind of assessing what's working, what's not. And add that plus the move, I knew something had to take a pause. And so I didn't make a video. But now we are settled in our temporary place. So let me share with you some updates on each of their homeschool years. The first one that I want to update you with, it's going to be short and sweet. It's my preschooler. He's almost 4. If he were to be in a traditional preschool, he would be in pre-K 3. He's not even eligible to start pre-K 4 until the 2022 school year. So he's very young, and while my experience with my daughter at this age was one of sitting still, great, long periods of attention, and wanting that workbook style, that is not the case with my son. He is completely different, and I have realized in the last few weeks, probably the last few weeks, that I'm very much Charlotte Mason inspired. Not that I use her only. I don't, because I also do mostly a traditional, but I do pick and choose from her thought process, which includes a gentle approach, short lessons, and one of them is starting formal lessons, not starting formal lessons until the child is around 6, or even 7 maybe. And I think that that definitely might be what my son is trying to communicate to me. So I have been letting him play and explore the way, you probably hear him in the background, the way he plays and explores best, which is running, jumping. He's very creative. He likes to be adventurous and thrill seeker. He's my spirited 3rd child. And so I'm taking a pause on that. The last thing that I attempted, which has been somewhat more successful, is ABC Here Do. I just introduced it to him and I have it out for him. I just kind of keep it open on these 2, and within a day, less than a day, within a few minutes, he understood the sound. He does the movement. If you're not familiar with it, it doesn't teach the letter. You don't even mention the letter. You just mention the sound, and there's a movement that goes with it, and of course the picture. And after a few of that, then it introduces some words that match the sounds he's made based on the pictures also. So he sees the picture, sees the letter, and then he sounds it out. What else do we do? I got a fall packet for him on Teachers Pay Teachers. I had this, I showed a one activity over on my Instagram. You can go ahead and find me on there and follow me, DM me to say hi. And he, of course, loved that as well. And it took less than 5 minutes to do the activity. It was cut something out, color it. There was a dance on YouTube. And so that's kind of what we're focusing on. And I do that maybe once or twice a week with him. Kind of do this here and there. He follows along with my daughter at times. So that is the update with my preschooler. For my 8-year-old daughter who's in 3rd grade, we have taken some things out and replaced them with something else, or have taken it out completely. So the first thing I want to touch on is writing. For language arts, we currently use Lightning Literature. So in Lightning Literature, there's a writing component. We're not doing it. And I will explain why in the review. We replaced it with this first, Writing Prompt Journal. Okay, for grades 3 and 4, it's from Lakeshore Learning. And I like the idea that it has. It allows her, it gives her a question, provides her with a question. Then she splits up what she wants to include in the beginning, in the middle, and the end. And then together we've written out the sentences, you know, so they can flow together. But after doing that first exercise, I realized that she needed something that would teach her step by step. I'm sorry that you can hear my son in the background. I have the door closed, but you can still hear him out there. I needed something that would break down the writing process even more. So I went ahead and replaced it with, and this has been great, Learning Without Tears, Building Writers. Let me see it. And this one has been really nice. It goes into providing them with a beginning, middle, and end short story, and having to draw it, write who the characters were, what the setting was. And she did that there as well. And then now she is actually writing the story. Okay, so it's Wilbur in a New Adventure, and it provides her with one character, which is Wilbur. It describes him, and then she had to create another character, describe the character, pick a setting for her story, and then it gives them space to write the beginning, the middle, and the end. I have seen a natural progression where it makes more sense to her. It makes sense to her completely. So I'm there to guide her in how to formulate her thoughts. That's fine, but she understands what needs to happen. The next thing that I took out was spelling and word study for 3rd grade. I kept skipping it over, and I wanted something that encompassed phonics as well as spelling. And so I found this, Horizons Level 3, Phonics and Reading. This at the beginning, and right now still, is very much a review, because she knows the short sounds, right? But she's been able to, now she knows like the terminology breathe, right? Let's put a breathe over the short sound. She didn't know that before. And it's just, again, I just brought it back to basics the last 2 weeks. I wanted to make sure she had a firm foundation as to why, the why behind it, what it was, not just out of memorization. And this is what this will provide for her. I only got workbook 1. I think it's really all I'm gonna do this year. I'm not sure. I may do workbook 2 next year, even though she'll be in 4th. I'm only doing this once a week. So she will do 1 lesson every Friday. And then there's a short story to read. And she loves to read. They're probably 1 to 2 pages each story. And in the teacher guide, it provides me with questions to ask her, to see if she understood it, provide some activities for her to do or for us to do together. For example, the first story she read, The Howler Monkey, we YouTubed the sound. Excuse me. We YouTubed the sound of the howler monkey. So it's been a nice addition to it. And because she is writing down some words, right? She's identifying words that have the short sound or the long sound, or the combination sounds. Those are her spelling words. So there we go. That's what we have replaced spelling with. Now for social studies, I have used, what did I start using with? I started with, I started with the U.S. geography and social studies with master books. I love master books and I wanted to love it, and for whatever reason, we weren't really looking forward to it as much as we thought we would be. Or if I was, she wasn't. And, she feels comfortable telling me what's working and what's not. And without me asking her, she said, I don't really like this that much. I said, okay, so let's change it up. I contemplated going back to Mystery of History, which is what we were doing as a family. But even though it is for her age, it's for all ages, it's set up that way. Again, I need to just bring it back to basics, and I would rather introduce that to her, maybe 5th, 5th and 6th and 7th, or 6th, 7th, 8th. And so I found master books again. I found My Story, My Country, My World, Level 2. It's ages 6 and 8, so she is on the higher end of that, but she's very bright, but she very much still loves to color. She loves word searches. She loves when I'm reading her something, a lesson, and that there's questions afterwards to discuss it, to talk about it. And this is what that provides. It took us a minute to get into it because I just felt like we were playing catch up a lot this month. I don't know if it was because of the move and just a busy schedule. But we did our first lesson last week and she loved it. So for every 9 weeks, they have a quest collector card with questions on it. So when she hears it, she answers it. She writes down the answer. So which is the biggest country in the world? That was touched on in the first lesson. She heard it, she wrote it down, Russia. And then it went over the continents, which her and I had never reviewed. Sometimes it's an assumption, but I had only maybe just brought it up. It hadn't been something where we had sat, looked at the map, discussed where they were in the borders. So we were able to do that, and then we can review it and reference it every time we start a lesson. So it visits different countries, all the continents, and it's divided into quests. So on quest 1, it's, let's see, Australia, New Zealand, going to the islands, Vietnam, India, Turkey, Pakistan, Nepal, China, South Korea, Japan, and it says here that you're going on each adventure on a certain type of transportation. So the first one's on a canoe, a glide, then you go on a glider, you put your snowshoes on for Nepal, dog sled through China. So it's fun. In the first lesson we were learning about Hawaii in the first one, was it? Yeah. And so I got her some delays that go over. And so while we read Hawaiian words, she enjoyed that a lot. Keiki child. She had a pink lei on, and so she just had fun doing that. And after each lesson, there's a talk time, right, which is her favorite, and then a thankful time. You can either say or write on a card what you're thankful for. And again, she loves the discussion, and so we just chat about it. So this has been a hit, and I knew she was gonna like it. I was just apprehensive because it said ages 6 to 8, and I thought it was gonna be too young for her, but it hasn't been. It's been great. She's enjoyed it a lot. Then one thing I had completely forgotten about, and I added it just last week, and I will continue to add it, is practice makes perfect with master books. Each level of math has a practice book, because a lot of people will say my child needs more practice, or I want my child to practice more. I haven't really run into that feeling, but we're introducing multiplication, and I did feel that I wanted her to do more on a certain whatever number we're on. And I was, as I was looking through all my teacher guides, because we just moved, I'm like, oh my goodness, I got this. So we will be continuing this next week. We just started. It's been a great addition to her math curriculum that we already love. So it is fall. Halloween is coming up. So I had found this book in my Thrift, one of my thrifting moments, and I actually have a video on that, and I will link it below as well. And she's reading this independently. Nancy Drew and the Clue Crew, the Pumpkin Patch Puzzle. So I'm looking forward to her reading that. The next big thing that we have added, this is mine. I brought mine instead of hers, but if you're on Instagram, you have seen me post about it. Again, I'm on Instagram. If you want to follow me, go ahead and send me a DM. I love to say hi. We started attending community Bible study. So community Bible study is nationwide. If you go on their website, I will provide it below. You can find a local CBS community Bible study near you. And they have child care / child programs available from nursery through 12th grade. So it's perfect for homeschool families. And the kids who are old enough I think it's from first grade and on. They learn what you're learning alongside you, of course, age appropriate workbooks. This is the adult Bible study for the book of Revelation. My daughter has the primary book for the book of Revelation, and my son, he's in the high school one for Revelation. So that is our Tuesdays now. So when we come back on Tuesdays around noon, we will have a little bit of lunch, we will decompress, and then I have them do math and English. That's it. So our week has changed as well. We're homeschooling now completely, full days, meaning our usual, 2 to 4 hours on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. On Tuesdays, it's only math and English. And then on Thursdays, they go to their homeschool group, so we don't touch any of our actual books. There you have it. There is my 8-year-old update. The last update, and this one is really short and sweet, is my 8th grader. Nothing has been taken out from his schedule. Nothing has been added. The only change has been, of course, the community Bible study. But as far as the other curriculum goes, he's been doing phenomenal. He's enjoyed everything. He is working independently, efficiently. He's understanding it. He's showing us that he understands it, whether it be through discussing it or whether it be through some tests, because since he's starting high school, and I do intend on keeping a report card in the event he chooses to go to college, I want to have that available to him. And so we've introduced tests again, and he's been doing great. It goes to show you that you don't have to test in order for them to get used to testing, because he's been taking it and he's been doing great. So I'm very proud of him. So that's my update. Thank you so much for your patience on me not having created a video for the last month. I'm glad you're here. Bye, guys.